Here's a quick little description of what exactly the Raw Till 4 diet is and why I choose it as my diet. Raw Till 4, like it says in the name, means that you're eating raw foods for the first part of the day, breakfast and lunch for the most part. You're eating fruit or other raw foods, and after 4 o'clock in the evening you can eat any kind of cooked, low-fat, vegan, low-sodium food that you want. When you're eating Raw Till 4, you want to be sure to eat enough food. It's all about eating ample quantities and not restricting. You want to get started early in your day and get a whole bunch of fruit, and the best way to do it is a smoothie or a fruit plate, maybe some banana and ice cream, something like that. Just eat an entire meal's worth of fruit. If you're not used to eating fruit, you're probably not going to eat enough because it's so rich and light in calories and just so watery that you get full, and you'll feel full before you actually eat enough calories to consider it a meal. So you're going to want to either log it into something to see how much calories you're getting from your fruit meal. Just make sure you eat enough in your fruit meals, breakfast and lunch. My favorite fruits are bananas because they're so cheap. I can get a 40-pound case for like $30, which is amazing, organic, and each banana is like 100 calories, so I just make a huge banana smoothie with some juice or almond milk and some frozen berries or whatever for flavor. And I'm getting most of my calories from the bananas. The extra stuff is for extra vitamins, extra flavor, but I can just eat 10 banana smoothie or maybe a little less, and that's 1,000 calories. That's a great breakfast. Sometimes I'll even have another one for lunch. Dates are also really good. High calorie fruits. You only have to put like 10 little dates into your drink and blend it all up, and it's caramely and delicious. So good. On the Raw Till 4 diet, you can eat pasta and pasta sauce as long as you should make your own pasta sauce because you want it to be low fat. Most pasta sauce has olive oil in it, but you can eat pasta and curries and rice and stir fries and a whole bunch of things. You can even treat yourself sometimes on this Raw Till 4 lifestyle and have a vegan donut or just, you know, something that's like a Beyond Meat beast burger. I think those are so good. Any kind of veggie burger or something. Breads, all allowed on the Raw Till 4 diet. I tend to keep it a little bit more whole foods. I do eat bread and, you know, veggie products and pasta, but for the most part I'm eating brown rice and whole grains, vegetables. Ideally, the raw diet, a fully raw diet, would be the best for our bodies and our systems, but that's really unsustainable for a lot of people depending on where you live or how much money you have. Fresh fruit and fresh produce is hard to have on hand all the time, especially in the quantities that you need to make eat enough calories and to make actual full meals. But eating Raw Till 4, especially with the bananas, as cheap as they are, bananas are the #1 consumed fruit in America, and I'm sure in a lot of countries around the world. So grocery stores are getting them in often. You're not going to have to pay too much extra for shipping. It's already coming in. So you just call your grocery store and order a case of bananas. You'll probably get a 10% discount. If you don't, try to go to a different grocery store because a lot of grocery stores will give you a case discount when you buy a case. It's normally like 10% off, but it goes a long way. The bananas will last me like half a month depending on how much my fiance is eating. Other than that, it'll go a lot faster and we'll have to get another case. But it's really a sustainable diet, the Raw Till 4 diet, because especially if you're traveling, if you go to Thailand or Mexico or just somewhere random and crazy, for the most part, you're going to be able to find a little bit of fresh fruit, and there's always going to be some sort, you can always eat vegan. Like, you might have to learn how to be vegan if you just became vegan, but you can always eat vegan no matter where you are in the world. You can find a place that's going to serve some plain grains or plain vegetables, or you can just buy some fruit for yourself. And that's why it's so sustainable. A lot of people that are on a fully raw diet and travel and then decide to eat some cooked foods because they're in a bad location and they can't find enough raw foods and they're really hungry. It's so important to eat enough calories. So they'll try to eat some cooked food and it doesn't really work out for them. Their body isn't ready for it because they're so all or nothing about it. They've been eating raw for so long. So eating Raw Till 4, you can still go out with your friends, have a social life, and it's a very sustainable diet for the normal person and for the planet, because veganism is the most sustainable diet, especially a low-fat vegan diet, because a lot of especially palm oil, which is in so many things, is destroying the rainforests. And just go vegan and go low fat for your health, for the environment, all that. Ever since I started eating this way, I feel great. I am more passionate and energetic in life. I wake up early. I have more energy. I used to be like chronically fatigued and have brain fog, and now I'm just more focused and sharp. And I think a lot of it has to do with the low fat. As a vegetarian, and I didn't eat too much cheese or dairy or eggs, but it definitely contributed to my fat content. And I was so shocked after I read the 80-10-10 book and did a random day calculation on Chronometer and found out I was eating 60% fat. So there's a lot less stress on this diet, which is great. Maybe that's because the energetics of food. When I became vegan, I just had discovered the whole low-fat thing. So before, I was eating still eggs and some dairy. Even though I was buying organic, there's still that cruelty factor, and you are what you eat. So if that animal is being tortured or is suffering in any kind of way, that's the vibration, that's the energy in that product, in that food. And dairy, the dairy industry is horrible. I was buying eggs from a neighbor, but I still, she buys her chickens from the feed stores, and they support an industry. So overall, I feel less stressed on the raw till 4 diet, which is amazing. And my favorite part, besides feeling better and less stress, I look amazing. I'm eating more than ever. I'll just stuff my face into the night, and I'll wake up and be even leaner than I was the day before. I went vegetarian and lost a ton of weight without even trying, just eating the way I wanted to eat. And then I went vegan and lost so much more weight. And it's not, I've been really, really skinny at points in my life, like a skinny fat where I'll have still like a little plooch in my belly, but you can see my ribs coming through my chest. But now on this vegan diet, my weight has stabilized. It's in the right places. I've got a great womanly figure back. I don't look like a skeleton at all. I feel confident and amazing, and I can eat as much as I want. I can pick out into the night, and it's just a relief, you know, because who wants to stress out about, oh man, I shouldn't eat this, I'm hungry, but I shouldn't eat because nothing tastes as good as looking good feels, except high carb, low fat vegan food, because it makes you taste good and feel good. It tastes good, it makes you feel good. And I have a lot of friends too who are really into the raw food diet. I was raw for a little while. Other friends of mine have been raw, like hanging out with us. And so they've all been introduced to it, and they all understand the benefits and why we do it. But it's obviously really difficult. And every time we go back and see one of these people, no matter how long, they've been on it for like 3 years, maybe they're on it for 6 months, or eventually they fall off the 100% raw wagon. And I'm not saying 100% raw isn't doable. I would love to be 100% raw one day. I'm so inspired by people who are. But for the everyday person, or on your journey before you're able to get there, raw till 4, and I've told my friends about it. They ask me, so are you still doing raw food? I'm like, no, I'm doing this raw till 4 diet. And they're always so like, oh yeah, I could do that. That sounds awesome. It's so simple. You just fruit smoothies in the morning. You can throw your greens in there and superfoods. More fruit for lunch, or maybe a salad if you really like salads, and then a grain and maybe a baked potato and some sauce and some greens for dinner. Yum. So that's the raw till 4 diet. That's the basics of it. They also are very big on low sodium, which it was hard for me to do both at the same time, low fat and low sodium, so I decided to introduce salt back into my diet. I use it less than I did before, but I've just cut out all the fat, and it makes it so much easier to not have cravings and still be satisfied with the food that you're eating. And once I'm used to eating, I'm fairly used to eating low fat now. Once I get better at like making certain recipes, I'm lowering and lowering the salt content. I'm gonna try to make some celery salt, and one more thing, the raw till 4 lifestyle is more than just what you eat. Exercise is very, very important. I fell off the wagon a little while ago and just got back on it the other day. I started exercising again regularly. It's about consistency. Don't overdo it, because then you might, like I did, fall off the wagon for a really long time. Start small, be consistent, but you need to have a physical practice in your life. You need to be exercising daily. You need to be pumping the lymphatic system. It's good for, it builds your muscles. It helps with bodily functions and processes. It makes you stronger physically and internally. Exercise is extremely important. But when it comes to weight loss, diet is the bigger percentage of it. And then fitness comes in maybe like 20%, and 80% diet. So Raw till 4 diet. Check it out. Thanks for watching.